Good day, good people. Another fine day in the year of the vibrant tooling day. Bravo, Dave, and Alman, no cars. You know me as the man who is ready for more great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're about to defend our boy, the Denzel Crocker of old-time Japan. Last week, we didn't do anything because I was going out of town and I had to do so much pre-recording that this series is not a guaranteed every Tuesday series. It's I'll try my hardest Tuesday series. We are back to it this week, so let's continue where we left off. We are finally entering the court case of the adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Shall we? Actually, we're not entering. We did a good chunk of this already. Right? Yes. I've considered the defense's counsel request for a summation examination of the jury, and I've determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman. Right, we're at our second summation examination. Oh. We'll continue. We are, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to clearly state clearly and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime. The jurors' contentions. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? In those 3 books of his. If there was some novel, alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. I feel like that is going to be our biggest key point, because that's really the only other, some other way. Was it really her? The beast? Did she not just throw a book out? Did she also, like, happen to accidentally throw a knife out that landed in the back of that lady? Oh, that landed in the back of that lady, maybe to when she was reaching down to... I understand what's happening. I think I might have come to this conclusion last time. That she was reaching down and maybe she threw a knife and it just landed in her back. And maybe that's why it wasn't enough to kill her. It kind of just stabbed her and maybe the shock rendered her unconscious. It wasn't like a, hey, I'm going in for the kill. I'm doing it for the thrill. Like, we didn't even really see any blood for real. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it? It was open. Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct... Oh. The knife came out, and then the book came out, didn't it? No, that's impossible, because she was looking at the book. Never mind. I thought it was onto something there. I thought that she threw the knife and then it landed in her back. I forgot that she would have been looking down at the book. At least for what I'm thinking, for it to have been her fault, really. Could also just not be her, actually. Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble. Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezies. Okay, I'm definitely gonna press on that guy. Yes, considerably more tangible arguments from all the members of the jury this time around, it seems. That is fair. With one notable exception, of course, the man who needs to get home. My learned friend was unable to find the faults in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover... Hey, you gotta stop breaking these glasses. No one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way. That means I'm afraid that during this summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts. But how? What would even constitute as a tangible explanation here? Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those 2 details are all you need to prove. I have a feeling he knows that our guy didn't do it, and it feels like right in this moment he's helping us. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted. And there I was thinking this might be hard. But Mr. Naruto, you will have to do it, otherwise this really will be where the trial ends. No pressure then. That's Quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. Don't mind if I do. Are you? Okay, good. I had to double check. I wasn't sure if, the item was coming through, right? But it is. I presume you're prepared, counsel? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Judge. Let's do this. Your almighty. Your majesty. Not your majesty. Your honor. Right, Ryunosuke, focus your mind now. It's a loud slam, louder than the death slam. Clearly the key to the summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid, or should I say Mrs. Garadeb. We have a book that just appeared from the Garadeb's house on the evening of the incident, and the 4th book found in the victim's hands. There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned from my short career so far, whatever it takes. Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garadeb and how she reacts, even to the things that other people say. So we are going to need to pay attention to reactions. I think I already know what. I like how they're just still standing in the back there. You hopefully get some good rest during this trial. Let's do it. Shut up, all of you. I know exactly what I want to press first. This. Hold it! Does that have anything to do with the decision about the defendant's culpability in this case? Sorry, what's that? You have to speak up, lad. Could you tell us more about that fire? It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on top, it did. It was a sight to behold. You put candles on a cake? Was it some sort of devil worship? Oh, Ryunosuke. Of course not, it was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously. It seems that's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo. You know, I guess that's a good point. I actually hadn't, like, thought about when and where that custom originated and how, when it, like, spread. Anyway, I mustered all of my puff to blow them out. Only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, the candles went flying all over the room. Oh my gosh. The furniture and everything went up. The whole place was filled with smoke. Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. How did you catch a cold from a fire? What if he asked what it was? The grandchildren, bless them, threw water all over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open the windows to clear it. The windows. The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. I got a terrible cold from it. It put me in a hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry. I knew it was devil worship all along, but something about this old man story is playing on my mind for some reason. I'm actually very surprised that she didn't react, unless I undid the reaction. How he or she could have done it, yes, but once again, yep. A lot of them seem convinced that they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary. I think you're gonna need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation. Yeah. I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions, just a connection might do the trick. Alright, see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike. That's the spirit. So did you add to that? Yeah, correct. Okay, great. So we are going to now put this against... who said it? Close window, yes. Here you go. Objection! These two juror statements clearly contradict one another. They do? How exactly, counsel? Don't point at me again. I told you it wasn't me. Huh? What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up. Juror number 3, do you see it? Oh, me? See what, sir? Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems despite being a Londoner, he once opened his window in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd have to be mad not to open the... Oh. Yo, these Londoners. From these, oh, you know, let me not even say these Londoners. Let me say these, any jurors or people on the stands in a great Ace Attorney game, or Ace Attorney game in general. Boy. Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadeb household. And Mr. Garadeb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke. Oh my hat. Hey, you. What's up?
Excuse me.
Oh, she did it during this part. Is interesting. Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? Hey, that's all. Hey, hold on. I would love an infinite teapot. Mrs. Garadab. Oh, dearie me. What is the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am? Look at your ring as you shake it. It's imperative to confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What is it? When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window? What? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating? The window would have had to have been thick with, I'm sorry, the room would have had to have been thick with smoke after the carpet and the bookcase caught fire as it did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window. And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering. Even though your house was on fire? Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise, ma'am. Of course, I should have realized. That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garadub's formal statement. Okay, now that you mentioned the window was open at the time, I'd forgotten. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true. Okay, so now I need to put this one against him. Now more? I guess. Do we just need to do this again?
Objection!
No, no, this is wrong.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but as a foreman of the jury, I have to object. That's complete nonsense. What? I mean, okay, whatever. I just, like, nobody changed their thing, so I felt like I had more to do. I will not permit a whimsical attack against the good members of the jury. Okay, we're at 3 badges. That's unfortunate. It's very important to, yeah, okay, shut up. No, I'm sorry, Susan, you don't shut up. The foreman can shut up. Okay, so, I feel like you have something, like, interesting to say that's hidden behind this, so let me press here. You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here. So is mine. Yeah, I was gonna say, well, him and me both then, like I said before. What? I told you already I'm a day laborer, aren't I? I know if I don't bring in some readies with me tonight, you'll find me floating down in the Thames. Oh no, in the Thames tomorrow morning. What? You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know? She can be fierce, you believe me. Yeah, I was gonna say, another shining example of marital bliss then. Situation like this cropped up the other day, and it was, well, no. Did you know it's funny? But I can't quite remember. Sorry? It was too frightening, that's the thing. I must have blocked it out. Helpful. I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by a scarf. Don't even go there, Miss Susato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. I'm gonna press this to maybe jog his memory. The 4th book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. Title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadub told us that he had been reading. Well, I really couldn't say. Oh, T. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw it at your husband? The copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading. I threw a lot of books that day. I did. Oh. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now that you've come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? It didn't seem important, to be honest. Because I couldn't, you insolent little man, I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as well as you well know. I thought that he would react to that. I really don't. I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it. There we go. What's up, boy?
Excuse me.
What is it, juror number 5? You know something? I remembered what it was, the memory I'd blocked out. Huh? I was listening to what this granny was saying. Oh, do not call her a granny. She's going to schmurder you, dude. Brought it all flooding back, huh? Yeah, I was gonna say, who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garadev or the maid. I'll have you know, either or. The man didn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. Probably so. It was about 2 weeks ago. I just got back home after work, like. I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny dropped out. Oh dear, what a disaster. You haven't heard the half of it, boy. Oh? The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out and I told her straight. I've lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear, stuck into the wall next to me it did. About an inch deep. An inch deep? No words, just terror. What is this case, dude? I could smell it then, you know? That god-awful stench of the things. I was sure that I was gonna end up face down in that muddy banks that night, I tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it? They pay you for jury duty, though. I don't know if they did back in the day. I'll never use the word lightly again. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it. Mr. Naruto, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined. You Susato threw him at least 6 times last chapter. Or the first chapter. Not at all last chapter, I don't think. No, I wasn't thinking that. Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized. I throw the people themselves. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like. Ma'am? What? Attack? Who are you going to attack? Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. Alright. We'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare. Maybe you shouldn't dare. Also, I need to charge this headset. A woman in a rage will hurl almost anything at you. The kitchen knife really brought that home to me. What did the lady over here say? If there was some novel explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. I feel like it probably is this on number 2, but do I want to press this again? He told us everything about this, so maybe we just pit. Have I saved recently? Here. I'm willing to pit this one against it, because like I see the line that they have for me. I just don't know what the exact correct pathology they want me to go is. Because I could see. I mean, I could see this. I don't know if that's quite right, though. Let me press her first.
Hold it!
So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean? Oh my, such a light on your face, but I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I am a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman. That's great. If no one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You see, modern, metropolitan, rational thinking, wouldn't you say? Yeah, not at all extreme. As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by an overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite 1 or 2 minor puzzlements, I do declare that man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say? Nah, overwhelmingly. But us modern gals rather always delighted to embrace new fads, you know? So I'd only be too happy to consider a new exciting theory if you could come up with one. This jury sucks. Oh my gosh, my boy over there, Von Zieks, he has to be seething with anger after hearing that. Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern metropolitan lady. I'm glad you omitted the rational there. Right. I'm willing to just do this. Man, I still don't feel like that's exactly right.
Hold it!
I'm gonna press this one again. Your wife flicked the kitchen knife at you? That's right, she was chopping meat with me. I had a tingy edge on it, rather. Believe me. Tidy edge, rather. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? It started with that smile she threw. Oh my gosh. Started with that smile she threw me when we were courting. And since then, the list of things she's thrown at me has... That's hilarious, growing along with our relationship. The smile she threw at me, and now it's just objects. There was a cup, then a glass, then a pot, then a kettle, a chair, a wardrobe, a bathtub, a cooker? Your wife must be even beefier than you. And things came to a head last week when she threw me right into the Thames. But still, though, she's not bad when she's calmed down. She's a little sweetheart, really. I'm so happy for you. You want to know what I think? I think this whole idea of ladies first that we're so obsessed with in this country was thought up by the clever lads who've been tossed in the Thames a few too many times by their wives. Hey, don't let your wife hear that, boy. That's a very interesting theory. Hey, a new theory? She wanted one, right? What a terrible thought. On the face of it, this juror statement sounds like a really extreme anecdote. But I think it might have turned out to be an extremely powerful weapon. A weapon that might be able to make the jurors accept an alternative explanation. Okay, so that is exactly what they want me to do. I wasn't entirely sure.
Objection!
I felt like there might have been like one, I wanted to make sure there wasn't, you know how these games go, like one more step that they wanted me to take before doing that, because this game loves to do that. Good grief, you mean they don't contradict each other at all? Explain yourself, counsel. Juror number 2, do you think perhaps this could be one such novel alternative? Oh my, whatever do you mean? Alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back, huh? What are you talking about? We've demonstrated that the 4th book, The Lion's Pride, was found at the scene of the crime. Originated in Mr. Garridub's room at the top of his... Here's the thing. There's something that's bothering me about this whole thing. Like their lodgings are over here. She would have had to really be chucking things to like toss this all the way across the. It's really weird that like the way that she had been like bent down. It doesn't lend credence to like the knife going straight into her back. I feel like they would have to be on this side of the road. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're still missing like 1 or 2 pieces of this puzzle for real, for real. I think the knife did land there, but I think there's still a missing piece. I really do believe she had to be, either she is on this side of the road or something at the scene, but I don't think we have any pictures of the actual like big scene of the crime. Well, no, it looks like it pretty much went straight back into her back. Man, I wish I had some more, like, pictures, whatever. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garridub household to the street below. What's that now? After all, Mrs. Garridub could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4? Oh, what are you insinuating now, you little beanpole? Beanpole is crazy. I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened. Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. Give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house. But what was it? A knife. We're taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least, this wardens further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way in... Oh, right. We do have the knife. Wait a minute. Does it have the blood on it? It doesn't have any blood on it, but... Admittedly... Okay, hear me out. This is a stupid knife, right? Like, it looks like it has a piece missing on the tip. Is it, like, in the victim's back or something? Because I wouldn't think that this would be able to, like... It feels like there's a tip missing. Can I actually investigate that? Can I click the tip? I can. Okay, hold on. Oh, look here, Mr. Naruto. Just the tip. Small piece of the blade appears to be missing. Okay. Okay. You're right. Well spotted, Miss Susato. I wonder what would have happened to it. Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear. I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Okay, so that is a big piece of information that I did not notice, and I found that kind of weird about this whole knife, because this is like a piece of evidence that when I opened it, literally I didn't have any use for it. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing to click, as opposed to every other thing that you can move around. There's usually one thing that you can click on. Huh. That is now the big mystery of all of this. Where would have it had to? Ooh, interesting. First, here, present this. And then we'll talk a little bit. Juror number 4, Mrs. Garrideb. What? What now? I must apologize for this in advance, but I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife, have you ever seen this knife before? Ah! Good lord, counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged in the victim's back, man. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrideb was hurling anything she could find at her husband, who'd been backed up against the window. A window that was open to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to the land at the scene of the crime. You can't seriously believe that. That book was found in the victim's grasp. Are you saying that it flew out of the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? Ha! Even my missus hasn't got a name like that. Yeah, I admit there aren't many details we don't understand. But that's the point. That's precisely why. We must not allow this trial to end. Not now. Oh my. Ah. Mrs. Garrideb, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? Oh, oh! I appreciate her not just lying. Oh, well, I guess she's dead. My lord! I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word, after all. Thank you, madame. Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end with so many unanswered questions. I'm surprised I thought he was going to be on guilty forever. Mr. Foreman? I'd have to agree. Not that I think Granny did it, mind you. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either. All together now, ladies and gents. I like to imagine the old man just didn't hear any of it. Also, how does this work if she is actually the guilty party and she's a juror? You know what I mean? We did it. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo. So as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty and against 4 now calling innocent. According to the opinion of this court is divided, accordingly rather, and this trial will continue. Boom, 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 ha, 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 boom, 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 boom. Get him with it, get him with it. Okay, very good. I will take a brief intermission now that we are 30 minutes into this thing. And we'll go for probably another hour and a half or 2 hours right after. So I will be right back. Okay, still trial part 2. Now then, Lord Van Zieks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed? By having a delightful... a delightfully fine red, this trial is rapidly descending into a farce. This is the part where I completely tear apart my poor Nipponese friends' arguments. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter. If I may, Lord Van Zykes, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened. Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond, but let me start by insisting that you all must familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? It should already be more than apparent rather, between the crime scene and the Garrett household. Runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Yeah, this is the problem that I was having with the game, actually. Like, unless she was, and I was gonna say, unless she was really, like, chucking it, that'd be a little crazy, you know what I mean? Which means that the distance from the Garrett's house to the scene is, yes, 15 yards. 15 yards is a lot. Let me see, 15 yards. That's around 14 meters. 14 meters? Oh, that's a little further than I imagined. And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having a portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book, wantonly hurled by the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards, to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to the plunge in the middle of the victim's back? Yeah, that... This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. But it could have happened. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. Wow. Herlock in the audience like, hey! There's nothing I can say to that, rather. That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice, Miss Susato. Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he! Maybe let's pick our battles here. My lord, may I be allowed to speak? At the defense of Herlock Sholmes? As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes, go ahead. The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Miss Joan Garrett, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination. Dang. Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror? Well, I'll be. Order, order, order. Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
Ow! My knee! And unnecessary. Lord Van Zykes? Van Zykes? There are already witnesses in the stands whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's very eyes. And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly. That's fair. What say you witnesses? Rolly? Aye, yes, sir. Constable Rowley beat reporting for duty, sir. Wow. Good morning, officer. Was he awake? Oh, he is. Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir. Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Rowley, my hero, you make my heart swoon. Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request. Oh. And order the witnesses to stand in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events. Yes, sir. I don't know who did it. Like, from what's going on, it feels like it should be Joan Garadeb. But I kind of agree with Homeboy that it's weird that she's on the other side of the street. I would kind of expect her to be, unless, and you know what, crazier things have happened. She may have just really had a bad day, threw out a book, and then threw a knife, and it went to her back. This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the window on the top floor of the Garadeb households are top hinge casements. What? Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Okay. Well, this is quite startling. Top hinged casement windows. That detail was not in the police report, Constable. Oh. Ah, yes, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy. So he didn't like that. I think he may have realized, oh no, that means there's a possibility of something. You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable. No, sir. Sorry, but yeah, what exactly is a top hinged casement window? Thank you, please. I need it too. And you. You cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend. Of course, sorry. I found it, Mr. Naruhodo, in my great big book of everything. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's room. Alright, I'll try. I assume they just lean. Oh no, what is this? So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. Oh, it's one of those. Oh, heck, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, no. If this is the case, then yeah, certainly she must have been on this side of the street if this is the actual, like, real solution. Because now I could very much see, like, oh, boom, bam, dropping right onto you. I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. I have skipped that, and I need to go look at the history real quick. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount. It prevents it opening? Well, this is all news to me. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or a knife were to have been thrown through the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below. Now, you see the problem then. Good. Your education in Windows is complete. It's hilarious. There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. I just thought it was far-fetched that they both, like, went over Kashum. But now I'm much more confident that the body was on the other side of the road and the knife and the book must have gone hooped into hooped. You know what I mean? That is unless the window pane had been shattered, unless we've discovered something we've discounted already. That can't be. Did you see that, Rolly? That young Japanese man could just collapse in agony. Oh, yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me. Oh, Rolly, you're so strong. Oh, brother. How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed. Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. My lord. Oh, good. Another desperate situation, which I'll somehow find my way out of. Welcome to pressing all of these statements. But not that one. If I had to guess which one it is, I would guess this one and this one. Well, not this one and this one. But we'll press all of them, why not?
Hold it!
How can you say that for certain? A good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all of us policemen of our sworn duty. He showed us that before, didn't he? Did he? I can't say I remember. He did. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. That's what the job's all about. And that's why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you a Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly, saw. Oh, Rolly, you're so manly. Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Oh, brother. No, none of this is what I meant. I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with the Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb? Oh, I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir. Yeah, well, okay. So could you answer the question? This was a waste of time then. Absolutely, sir. I will answer it to my fullest abilities. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's domestic dispute can't be related to the case. Before I get to that, sir, just one thing. Yes? I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So I hope you'll take some tales of us London Bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I only just arrived here. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears first. Thank you. I'll try. Alright, time to tear this man asunder. I'm about to tear him a new one, boy. Hey, get over here. Give me that court record real quick. Where your book at? Alright, let me read this real quick. Not present, examine. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. A police officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigation and help detectives. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigation and help detectives. I was gonna say, this is not his beat, you know what I mean? What was that last thing? That's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, Susan. What do you mean? I request the cross-examination of Mrs. Garrideb without consulting you. Even if the judge did deny me. Oh, I see. Well, I agree with you. We do need testimony from Mrs. Garrideb if we're going to find the truth of this matter. Do you really think so? Well, think about it. No matter how far it is across the road or how that window opens, Mr. Garrideb's books found its way to the scene of the crime, didn't it? You're right. And there was... why didn't you just say that instead, to be honest? And then there was Mrs. Garrideb's reaction to me showing her the knife. The woman's hiding something, I'm sure of it. You're right again. We need to use this cross-examination to uncover more clues. We'll get to the bottom of this one way or another, I swear. This, I swear. Alright, excuse me, Mr. Beat. I would like to press on this.
Hold it!
Nothing to report?
That's correct, sir. I had my eyes open the entire time, sir. I never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene, and there was nothing else removed from it. I swear to it on the yard's honor, sir.
Really? That seems a little strange.
Beg your pardon, sir. Strange. Seems altogether regular to me.
This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the Garrideb household, so the question remains, how did it find its way to the hands of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Hello?
Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burned as well?
Rolling. Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. That's true. It would have been in her bag.
Well, sir, the book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene.
Is that so? Now he's hiding something, definitely. There's something about the statement that's not sitting right with me. Two mysteries of how the knife in the book ended up in her hand, and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. Yeah, you're good. I'm going to have to continue pressing. Yeah, I'm good. Susan, we're good. Okay, so what we want to do is, we have already done that one. Let's go ahead and press this one too. Actually, let me look at my court record. We have 2 pictures of her, right? This is the first picture, and this is the second picture. Okay. What you mean they don't open fully, is that correct?
Yes, sir. They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see? So they're restricted as to how much they open.
And therefore, anything thrown out the window inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Here. This is literally what I was talking about earlier. I was like, it would be weird if it were on the other side of the road, you know what I mean? And I was with Von Zeeks on that. I was like, I feel like it's got to be closer. So did they move the body? Why would they have done that? I guess is the bigger question. Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime on the other side of the wide road. Would it have been so hard for someone to mention this top hinge casement thing before? Well, I have another question for you, Constable.
What would that be, sir?
How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Gyardeb's house is furnished with? Huh? Well, it's his things, you know?
Well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday.
Okay, what's up? Did you? Why?
Excuse me.
You have something to add, Mrs. Beat?
Sorry.
You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that?
Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. Well, we really were so lucky.
Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, of course, I feel terrible for the woman who was attacked, but please don't misunderstand me, please. We were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rolly's beat, rather. It was so close, you see.
Oh. I understand. Oh, I hadn't realized.
Oh yes, that Street Briar Road,
That's a boundary between Rolly's beat and the next one. He moved it. Oh my gosh. Oh, Rolly.
Isn't that right, my love?
Constable Beat?
Yeah, that's right. And the reason I was helping out with the interviewing occupants of the Gyardeb household yesterday, the house is on my beat, you see?
That was really cutting it close then.
Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something?
If the Gyardeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well?
Outside the Gyardeb house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is a part of my beat.
I see. I was unaware of that.
Just think, if that woman had been attacked just on the other side of
Briar Road, we never would have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. Okay, well, you just laid out literally the motive that I needed. I was like, why would he do that?
But that's the life of a Bobby after all.
Extraordinary people are Bobby, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners.
Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding, rather, my Rolly for all of his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it.
I think perhaps we should make sure we have information officially on record.
Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately.
Awesome, great. The pavement where the victim was found lies just outside of Constable Beat. The border which runs... Okay, great.
And now it's my turn, I think.
That was incredibly useful information.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Lawyer, please?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Oh, you're about to do that thing again?
You're doubting us, aren't you? Again, I can tell.
What? I wasn't really... I mean, wait. Is she doing that thing again where she remembers a whole bunch of things and then one of them is wrong and really helps me in this investigation?
Please, just because I'm a woman doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am.
I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you.
No excuses, I don't want to hear it.
My voice will be heard. Please just don't make sure the snapping of your husband's neck is not heard.
My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you?
It's literally a testimony. Yes, Mrs. Beat, I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. Ain't that the truth, my guy? Hey, my lord, Mr. Judge, he's a wise man. It was a very loud mutter.
I heard that. The Japanese man thinks the policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Huh. Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't.
Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue.
What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, though.
Okay, well, I guess I will, press this.
Hold it!
Mrs. Beat, nobody's questioning what you've told us.
I saw it. I did. That evening I saw it clearly. A little Easter man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene. Ha. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying to the sky.
All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction. No, that's not what you said.
Oh, yes, well,
that's a little embarrassing, really. Oh, so you actually do have a really poor sense of direction.
I'm always ending up at the wrong place when, I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross.
You get mad with your girlie?
Excuse me.
Constable Beat, is that a problem?
No, sir, no problem at all, sir.
Did your wife's remarks now just bring something to mind, perhaps?
Well, in a way, sir, yes, sir. I was just remembering the same thing happened that evening as well as all.
You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident?
Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine. She was gone a far bit longer than I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was gone so long is because the bouquet is silly. The bouquet?
Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about?
Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and hay pennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds.
Yeah, how romantic?
I've forgotten all about it just now, until just now, rather. Had you, my darling? Oh, yes. But that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You'll have to promise. Really? Oh.
What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very troubled during that exchange.
I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet.
Mrs. Beat, that bouquet you just mentioned, I'd like you to add it to your details about your testimony, do please.
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. I love talking to everyone.
Van Zeke's like, this sack of trash couple is about to do some shenanigans.
What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while.
Where'd you drop it?
Hold it!
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime?
Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset.
There was no bouquet at the scene of the crime. I guess you took it back, maybe?
When we ran over and saw...
We ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the street lights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice it at first. And then the police box, you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on. Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see? That's when I spotted my bouquet again. Funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. Uh-oh. In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased. I was flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side. Once you reach the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably. That's right, silly me. I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although, I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think how it got there. I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved to one side of the Briar Road to the opposite. Curious indeed. Isn't it? But the worst of it is I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me with the change from the gutter he spent so long collecting. Van Zeeks is like, by bouquet, did you perchance mean this solitary rose? Oh my gosh, Lamau, it's just one rose. Oh, yes, that's it. That's the bouquet Rolly bought me for our anniversary with his bits of change he found in a gutter. Maybe just call it a rose. Tell us, Lord Van Zeeks, where did you come by this flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household. In front of the Garadeb house, although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to have been no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. Could I please have it back now, please? No, I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence. Oh. Okay, well, this is all pretty much just told me everything that I need to know about this, for the most part. It's a symbol of... Oh, can I look at this, actually, real quick? Does it have, like, the knife piece in it? Because that's the only other thing that we're missing. No. No, does it not have anything in it? Really? The string? It's a very stylish paper the flower's wrapped in, isn't it? It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me. Ah, I see. Is something wrong? Oh, no, I was just... Oh, okay. It looks like some fancy cake. Ah, Suzuto-san, you do love your cakes. Okay, great. Nothing. I see. A very nice rose, baby. I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Okay, great. But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back. Oh, good grief. Rest assured. I will do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beaton. I didn't take my eyes off it. Nothing strange to report. I feel like there's a lot of things I could present on that statement alone. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that in itself is strange to report. Present the rose. Where'd that go? Yeah, I'm gonna present the rose there. I feel like that's our big ticket item here. Present that bad boy. You claim, Constable Beat, there was nothing to report. In the 15 minutes or so, you were guarding the scene. However, I think you got a lot to report because I think you committed a crime, tampering with the crime scene, so you cannot do your job. But that can't be. What do you mean to say? What do you mean to say? I don't know why she became Irish there for a second. In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat explained to the court, rather, that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with a policeman assigned to the beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby. Objection. Yes, on the opposite side. Von Zeeks, if you don't say the other side like everybody else, what's wrong with you? You know what we do on this channel. On the Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street back into the gutter where it belongs. Meager? But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to that fact? No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly, that's not where your bouquet... That's not the... it's not only the bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides a Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's a Mr. Garridub's book. Mr. Garridub, his copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out of the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hands. It hurts my soul when they say the opposite side. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been found here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the road, but in fact, was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garridub's house. There's no logical explanation for these things, unless somebody deliberately moved them. Objection? No? Anybody? No?
What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly's done something wrong. Don't listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says. Withering on about books and bouquets, why should we care? Why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is.
Oh, good. Mrs. Garridub's come around. Awesome. She's back. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garridub, but deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering with the crime scene. Tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. Oop, oop, oop. But the person responsible for tampering cannot admit to it. For a very subtle but compelling reason. Tampering? You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend. Who possibly had the cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? Yes, there's somebody who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence and testimony post to one person in particular. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime? Surprisingly enough, I thought she might have been up to something at some point. But actually, he was tampering. They are just an actual couple, and he, I guess, moved. Oh, we still don't know her actual name. Goodness gracious. He actually moved the body to the other side of the street so that he could go on this anniversary dinner with his wife. Interesting. Here you go. That's wrong. Here you go.
Take that!
Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly Beat. It was you. What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard?
What nonsense. Why would my Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London.
Mrs. Beat? You said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone would have had to tamper with it.
You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies. What about the Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it.
To make himself look more guilty? That's stupid. If that was true, Constable B would have seen him do it. Also true.
Oh. Well, okay, no, I guess you're right. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Well.
Uh-oh. First you make an accusation about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. Ah yeah, evidence, whoop-de-doodly-doo. You claim the crime scene was tampered with, but there is only one reason anyone could commit such a reckless crime: to hide something.
That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happen to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make any sense.
You offer no motive for this alleged tampering. And until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. Constable Beat had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the crime scene, and I know that you know what it is, Lord Van Zeeks, and you just want me to say it in hopes that I don't know what it is so you can win the trial. That's the key to this entire affair. Mr. Naruto, have you managed to solve this mystery? Yeah. I got you, Susanoo. Let me show him. I got you too, my lord judge. Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged crime, tampering. Yes, my lord. Deep breath. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime was to hide where the book fell, where the bouquet fell, where the victim fell. Correct. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is where what the Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What?
Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road, we saw it happen, remember? It was right here, as if anyone didn't already know.
That's certainly what everyone has been led to believe, but in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all.
What? What?
This tandem scarf is awful. I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, counsel. Laval? If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know, my Nipponese friend. Where are you proposing the crime actually took place that evening? Over here, you son of a gun, where I've said this entire time. Here, present this, right here, on this side of the road. But that's on the opposite side of the road. Yes, yes, everyone, yes, on the other side. Once you reach the other side.
I don't understand.
On the evening in question, Mr. Gardub's book fell directly down from the window above, and your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, never moved at all. What did move was literally everything else. It was the scene of the crime itself. Good gracious!
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. You haven't been looking at the evidence, Van Zeeks. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place.
That's right, I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, it was already dark, it was typical London fog on the ground. Look, Gurley has a bad sense of direction too. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road.
No, that's not true. It can't have been.
Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. During that 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things in this print, the victim herself, and the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Actually, I'm kind of thinking to myself, maybe actually he put the extra book there himself. Well, no, because the victim had to be stabbed by kind of magic, you know what I mean? Or by nobody in front of our boy. But anywho, extraordinary. But the constable overlooked one thing.
What? What did he overlook?
The bouquet, I presume. Exactly. The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Zeek said it wasn't until the morning as it laid where the street lamps cast no light. Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously. Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road.
Wait, this is all making too much sense, Rolly. You didn't move this body, right? No, sir!
And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Rolly Beat?
Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again. I haven't properly slept in, a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Rolly, it isn't true, is it? What that lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is because you're the most upstanding righteous man I know, right?
Rolly?
I had a dream. A terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything come out. Everything exposed. Only it seems it wasn't a dream at all.
Oh. Good golly. That sounds like an admission to me. I thought I was gonna have to present one more thing. What on earth is the meaning of all this?
Oh, really? Why? Why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse it's a criminal offense, isn't it?
Well, she wasn't a corpse, actually. Wishing the victim dead should be one, too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? A respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London town.
I can't say, sir.
What?
I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation, for everything.
I have a possible explanation. Why have you figured out everything? How is he so good at this? For why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman? Hey. Love transcends barriers, my boy Von Zieks. And yet, Lord Van Zieks, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of this matter thus far. He trusts you more than he trusts me. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Extraordinary? Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Extraordinary. Next thing you go call me phenomenal. Counsel for the defense, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you'd better show us some evidence. Yeah, I got you. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. Yep, I'm with you. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings of this behind this man's actions. Yeah, I got you. It's, was this updated with the beats? No, it wasn't. So we're just gonna do this. Yep, present that.
Take that!
When the music doesn't stop, I get worried. It's this piece of evidence here, you see? Uh-oh. It's not this piece of evidence. I'm sorry to say I don't.
Objection!
What I would like to know, my learned friend, is the motive for your unthinkable actions. Oh, boy. Why is it not that? What am I thinking? Oh. Do I just need to present her? I bet you I do. You have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind. Yeah. Well, I heard you muttering to yourself before. I was gonna say basically everything. So it's nice to know that the light blue can also be muttering. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you. That don't care who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did. As long can I not go to people? Okay, well I have no idea. Is it this then? Do you want me to present the rose? I guess here.
Take that!
Stupid. I presented the thing that had the beat information and not the rose, man. Whatever. I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land and I've only just arrived from Japan. Which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learnt that, though honorable, patrolling the beat rather is the most demanding work in the world. For example. Keeping the pace and looking after the citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to do every day. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? Special how? On account of this bouquet, my lord.
Oh, yes. It was our very first wedding anniversary.
Von Zieks was like, oh, right, human emotion. Poppycock. Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal. When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime alongside Briar Road. When he saw the shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them. What must have gone through the man's mind?
But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care.
Oh man, that's crazy. He did say that earlier. Oh. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigation and help detectives. Aha! Constable Beat. Is that or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene the day of the crime?
Yes. Everything you said. It's alright.
So that's it. It was all to do the boundary of your, it all had to do with the boundary of your beat.
Oh.
Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. Oh, good gracious. Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you've done?
It was the first time since I became a copper that I ever cursed God.
Oh.
Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking around. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. We gotta report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were. Where the victim was lying. And what was meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigation and help detectives. Why here? Why did this happen over here? And why tonight all night, sir? Why? On my first anniversary, with my beautiful wife. It's a copper's job to guard the scene of the crime, so I told Pat she had to go to the nearest police box and fetch whatever or whoever was on duty there. It was then that I opened my mouth to speak. It just came out. I couldn't believe the words coming out of my own mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. So you have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Mershcombe Street, and then
he moved the body. Well, that still hasn't answered the question of how this woman died, but I think it brings us pretty much to the solution.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Rolly. Constable.
I just wanted that one night to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night.
Oh, Rolly, man, dude. You knew if that incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside of your jurisdiction. Just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care.
You see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see.
I beg your pardon?
Of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would have never left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's also fair. Ah, I see your meaning now.
But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should have never dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly. I ruined your perfect crime.
But you saved our case, huh? And can you tell us, Constable, the truth about the book? How many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total?
Huh? Oh, 4. Yeah, it was yes, definitely 4.
3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsumi, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Gyarados household, of course. But what made you place the book in the victim's hands? When all the others were haphazardly scattered around, I mean.
Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it.
How you found it? What do you mean?
Well, when you first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book, so when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand.
You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, the victim was holding?
Oh, yes, sir, no doubt about it, sir. It was burned up, so it's pretty easy to remember.
Huh, interesting. The 4th book, Information, was in the victim's hands. When Mrs. Beat first ran over to see what had happened. Interesting.
I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you say? There were only 2 people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. Well, however which way you looked at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road make it a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it.
My lord. Yes, Lord Van Zeeks? I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Huh? Constable, you may withdraw.
Yes, sir! Mr. Prosecutor, sir? What will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him?
For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course.
Please don't punish my husband. This was all my fault.
No, it was actually really his fault. He should have just done his job.
It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. Alright then, my love.
One last thing, Constable.
Sir!
Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you.
Yes, sir.
Carve that lesson into your mind. And never again make the same mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime. He's not gonna get fired!
Huh? Never again, sir? You mean to say?
Leave now. This trial is not yet over.
Sir!
I'm glad he gets to keep his job. That was actually way sadder than I thought. Man, oh, okay, well, whatever. Oh, that's quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire crime scene like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here. Principally, the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could have possibly committed this crime.
Objection!
Shut up, huh? No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back.
Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is well aware of this possibility already.
Lord Van Zeeks, is this true? Man, I guess so. Very well. Name the person if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. Name this other person. We already talked. If you don't get down here, Mrs. Joan Gyarados, get over here. She's throwing things. It might have been an accident, but involuntary manslaughter or something like that. The defense would like to again request the cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again, my assistant made the same request earlier. I'ma say it this time. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case. Come on down, Joan Garrideb. Boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, 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 boom, boom, ba-dum. Thank you. Get over here.
Oh, dearie me.
That request has already been denied. Yeah, that's before new stuff came to light. The situation's very different now. Mrs. Garrideb, answer me this.
What do you want now, you little toad?
At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garrideb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited, and to clear the smoke, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road.
Well, what of it?
You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open-hinge casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident.
Yes, and as I said, what of it?
During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage, and as such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on.
Yes, and?
So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garrideb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before?
Oh gosh, that thing again? I don't recall it.
Seriously?
Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there and all that regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he?
Conveniently, yes. No, I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4. That's my boy, Van Zeeks. He was like, did you just put words in my mouth? Get up there. Oh, make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madame, let the truth come out.
But it's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If
you're digging your own grave, girlie.
If one went missing, how would you expect me to know?
What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying, please, Miss Garrideb? Right, I was gonna say, man, we got a million of those. If one went missing, how's that? Now listen to me.
I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. Oh, the poor woman. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife if that's what you think. Come along now, chop chop. Do your worst.
Well, do I have any evidence? Well, Mr. R.O., if I had any evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already, right, dude? Okay, I'm gonna save, because we only have, like, 2 more opportunities before we fail. Let's go back over here. Hey, what's up, hello? Then take the stand, juror.
Oh?
The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman. Hey, thanks, Lord Van Zeeks.
I'm going to have to testify?
Juror number 4, as I'm sure you will appreciate having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware.
Oh, dearie me.
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garrideb. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Heard, my lord. Oh, I didn't know he was so hip with the future slang. That's what I'm hoping for, my lord. Okay. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. Look at these angles, dude. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. Look at me now! 'Cause I'm a son! Witness, state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes, my name is Joan Garadeb, and well, I'm a juror and such like.
It sounds like she doesn't even know if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore. The court has decided the true testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madame?
Oh, yes, my lord.
You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on that evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth.
Oh, dearie me.
Turn up, Joni. Oh, wait, is Mr. Garrett up here? Nothing to worry about now. He is! Oh my gosh!
Oh, I didn't know you were here, John.
Wasn't only in the room that day, wasn't only you in the room that day, old thing, was it? I rather think I ought to testify as well, don't you?
But what about your knee, dear?
Don't worry. Look at her eyes. Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Oh, John.
Oh. That's the first time I've seen them happy together since their marriage picture. I presume you are John Garadeb? Yes, sir. Former 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers. Sir! Seen my share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Well, yes, okay, maybe not that quiet. Yes, quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented, really. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. Now, here's the thing. We can't get them to full, like, not guilty anymore, you know what I mean? You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once. I need to actually go and put my water in the freezer. Surprised it's only still, maybe there's only 2 parts of this trial. I guess we had 2 parts of the investigation, 2 parts of the trial. That makes sense. I will be right back. Alright, Garadubs, let's get to the unironically, I thought that their, like, little spat was gonna be something that was like, very relevant to the case. I didn't think that they were going to be the ones who were technically at fault. I guess the woman's not dead. You know what I mean? The Battle of Garadeb. Very nice, huh? Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I had a bit of a skirmish. I can't recall the reason now. Knocked over a candlestick and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I noticed if 1 or 2 of them went missing, I'm afraid. If that Bali thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. That's not great, huh? It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. The only thing that's going to be the thing that we can prove is the edge of the knife. That thing is missing. That's the only proof that we have. It's gotta be somewhere. Continue. Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy cut us on the hop, sir. No choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield you're just a gnat's whisker away from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a martial quarrel here? Or a marital quarrel, actually? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that the surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than what they've already testified already. This may be a dead end. Van Zeeks may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination. This might be it, actually. To uncover the truth, Mr. Naruto, which would make sense. I think this case has now been going on for a little bit. Because we had 2 parts of investigation, 2 parts trial. I think that's about fair game. Yes, I'm afraid so. Especially for a case that's not the last case, you know what I mean? Usually then we might see a couple days investigation, maybe 2 days of trial or something, I'm not sure. We'll see. Let's get our cross-examination caps on. It's time to press everything, because I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I don't see anything particularly useful. Press that bad boy. The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe.
Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it started because of a note that was tucked into the page of a book belonging to Mr. Garrideb. A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Garrideb found the note discovering her husband's little secret. She gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too. What a sordid state of affairs. Hell on earth.
Hey, I'm sorry, Big G. I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it up. And besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway.
A likely story.
These waters run very deep, baby. Hilarious. And what transpired? You guys were like him. You had star eyes on him a second ago. You were looking like Pat to Rolly a second ago, for real. And what transpired next after the multiple blows to the face? Knocked the candlestick over and press it. And the fire also spread to some items of furniture, didn't it? The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine, really. Just so happens there was some bath water around that evening, so I sloshed that about and put it out. The most precarious situation to put yourself in. Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street, where the water main isn't connected yet. Oh. Having to draw water from a public water pump during the day if you need any, you see? The lodgers are always moaning that they can't get any water at night. Although that little mustache Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea all hours, rather? He's obviously very well off. No, he's not. Have you actually seen the state of the man? He is not. I believe he uses all of his income to buy books. Well, anyway, the point is I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could throw on him, including this knife, right? Even though the room was on fire? As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger rather than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a Susato takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. How did she know that I was also thinking of it, to be honest, Naruhodo? Ryunosuke, you and I were on the same page. So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see, some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, a sponge, a napkin. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garrideb? Don't shoot! I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. Did your wife's remark just bring something to your mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just the barrage of projectiles that the old thing launched in my direction. Was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, the fire poker, I seem to recall. Ouch. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed it right. Good grief, woman, we're not home now. There's a court of law.
Oh, dearie me, ever so sorry, dear.
What's she even doing with the teapot here? Why pour it into his pipe?
Honestly, John, I would have never thrown such things at you, obviously.
Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose this happened? What is this? Oh, the pipe breaking? Your pipe, sir? Had this thing in my hand, as usual, at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles. She did, yes. And when I went to pick up the thing, it was broken in two. I'd like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. The piece of the knife is going to be in the pipe. I see your pipe was broken. It would have never been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I managed to bandage the thing up for now.
Huh. You are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear?
What we should make of this? Yeah, it could be important. The Vince believes that Mr. Gardub's remarks just now to be of great significance. This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worth of adding to your formal testimony. Indeed, common sense, one might say. Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not.
Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady.
Order, very well. The court will accept the gentleman's pipe. Thank you. Say one thing, thank you. I would be nope. Thank you for that, Susato, because I bet you I would put money on it that. Yep. Look at that right there. Oh, something's just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe here.
Yeah, I saw it. Something's stuck in there, I think.
Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What is this?
It's a tiny fragment of metal.
Looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade. Surely, it couldn't be. Okay, yeah. Wait, we got the tip of the blade? That's hilarious. Whatever. My poor guy. Should I examine the tip of the blade? Sure. This is a tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of Mr. Gardub's pipe. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto? I don't really know. There's just something niggling me. I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Perhaps in that case, it would be wise to examine some other pieces of evidence again. Whoa. I think so. My concern was, do I need to investigate everything to make sure that I have the correct piece of evidence updated for what I need to present. Hey. Oh look, just at the tip, a small piece of blade missing. Wait a minute, it's missing? I could be wrong, but I just got a feeling. If you do you remember this? That's the tip of the blade. Yes, and just maybe. Oh my, it's a perfect fit. Somehow I just knew it. Does that update this? You're telling me that didn't update that? Oh, okay, never mind. It did update that. Yep, was found inside of it. It just didn't give me the doodle-doo when it updates. Okay, great. Awesome. Great. I don't know, you're good. I was feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine. Thanks, Susato-san. We have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. I did. Don't worry. Thank you for that, your rebuttal, Mr. Gardub. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter. Can you tell the court about the knife used in the attack on the victim? I'm going to that last statement right now. No, wait. That's my bad. Okay, what do you think? Well, I think we've heard this all before, to be honest. I can't say I'm particularly confident we'll be able to prove anything new from this testimony. With the information and the tip of the blade? Just the tip? We established how this knife came to be at the incident of the crime. Yes, I know. I'm sure they must be feeling very worried. Worried, in fact, that a knife belonging to one of them has caused the victim's injury. If we could find even the tiny shred of evidence to support that theory, it would clinch this trial for us. It would explain everything.
Guess it would.
For Soseki's sake, we must. I'm just hoping Soseki doesn't die at the end of this because we're going up against the Reaper. Let's go back to number 5 very quickly, but just slowly enough for this. Actually, I think I'll have a pretty easy time proving it. Hey, take a look. Yo! Oh, crap. Let's consider the implications of that statement for just a moment, shall we? Do I need to present the pipe? Okay, well, I'm going to have to save for you guys. Because I jumped the gun again, I think, mayhaps. Did I, though? I'm going to press everything just to be sure, because now we're in really dangerous territory. If that bally thing is in the victim's back was one of ours, you have like, all three of these things are connected, so I don't even know which one am I really supposed to present, you know what I mean? I guess maybe it's this first, maybe it's this? Oh, dude. Okay, here, present.
Objection!
Okay, I jumped the gun. That happens to me so many times in these Ace Attorney games, where I'm like, yeah, here you go, and I'm like, okay, I just need to present this other thing first, and then they'll set me up to say, now here you go. Mr. Garrett, can you take a good look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't see a bally thing. You can't? You used to call me Dead-Eye Deb back in the regiment, of course, but that was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days, I struggle to tell B from D and P from Q, to be honest. Oh, he does, dearie me. It's rather wearing, being asked about every other letter and every other word. You must very dizzy. Crazy work. What is that, a tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear to at first be a tiny scrap is just a crucial piece of evidence, or something of that nature. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged inside the chamber of Mr. Garrett's pipe. My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got in there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting that it in some ways related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road? Yes. Yes, I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. Oh, she's on a box. That's hilarious. Dude, did you see his backside? His burned up back of his robe and his bloomers, dude. You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well, then. Present the pertinent evidence to the court. Okay. It better be this, or else we're cooked.
Take that!
Music stopped. I like that. This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small tip at the end of the blade that is missing. A common issue with inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones. And what of this particular knife, huh? No doubt its tip suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim.
Objection!
Actually, it's not. Nope, that's not the case, huh? Don't you remember the small tip of metal I showed you not but 2 minutes ago, Von Zeeks? They call you the Reaper of the Bailey for what? The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrett's pipe. Oh! Ooh. Good grief, Lord Van Zeeks. I don't believe it. The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. Good golly gosh! He was like, I'm sorry, he was right and I was wrong. Ordar, is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? No, it's called cold hard facts, Judge. And your boy Ryunosuke just styled on you. This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. A miracle. So Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is, when did the fragment of metal find its way inside of Mr. Garrett's pipe?
something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony. I had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. It would have never been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh, dearie me. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mistress Garradeb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garradeb and instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip of the knife to break off, of course. Good lord. Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside of Mr. Garradeb's pipe. The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1. And yet there is no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. And if it hadn't, we probably would be cooked. Then after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off of the pipe and flew out of the open window. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garradeb's house, is the very knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. The last thing you're going to ask me to prove, and I know you're going to do it, is imagine you were walking. The knife would have hit her in the head, not in the middle of her back. While she was bending down to see a book that had just fell. I was like, oh, a book. That's certainly what happened, but they have not. That's going to be his last-ditch effort. I am going to save, because I'll tell you what. I assume the last thing I'm going to have to print is that book. But we'll see. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh. No! Objection?
Objection!
Yes, there you go. I'm confident again. There's one thing that you've done that doesn't make sense. A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that. Huh? A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument. Sorry? But after all, it's just a theory. A wine theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see, boots out, it is spoilt by an insurmountable inconsistency. I swear if you're like, she would have been stabbed on her hat. What? Lord Van Zieks, explain yourself. Huh? What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified? Inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with a knife planted in the... Yeah. Okay, Van Zieks, I was ahead of you. I was gonna be like, the only thing that they have not talked about is why the book was in her hand. They've talked about it like 3 times. Oh, the book was definitely in her hands. That's how I found her. She grabbed the book, she hit the book out the window first, and then it ricocheted and hit her in the back. It was just all a bunch of unforeseen circumstances. Yes, in her... No! That's right, you silly little man. Now, Joan, old thing, why are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of this case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above, there's no possible way it could have planted herself in the victim's back. Yeah! Yes, there is. Order. Quite right, you see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head. I knew that they were gonna do this. I was like, this is the last little twist that they can possibly throw at me, and it's not even that hard of a twist. She reached down to pick up that book, unless for some reason that's not the answer, and I'm going crazy, you know what I mean? What you got? He's lost for words, look. I knew it, I never liked his theory in the first place, huh? I don't know, though, what did really happen? It would appear that Vince has made a rather spectacular blunder. If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend, is history. We were so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track, but now, the way has been completely blocked by just one simple inconsistency. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency and the theory will stand. Miss Susato! You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were caught off guard, that's all. And your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in this court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nepalese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed.
Objection.
But actually, this inconsistency doesn't mean that I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way it could have hit her in the middle of the back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying? Counsel? There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife fell from above, how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness! Utter madness, surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak. Here's the problem. This is the last inconsistency, the final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will finally laid bare at last. I only got one shot, guys. So here's the problem. I don't know if they want me to present this or this. I think we have to click this one because it has been updated with Mrs. Beat first ran over to see, was in the victim's hand when Mrs. Beat first ran over to see what had happened. That has to be the case because this one does not say that. I was between these two, but this has been updated and we have not presented this updated information. That is the only thing outside of this which we have not presented. So I think we have to just present the fourth book.
Take that!
We cooked them. The fourth book found the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. Thank God. The burnt book? Isn't that not Mr. Garridub's book? Yes, and to understand the significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. But as you all know, it was the police constable that put the book in between her fingers like that. Quite so. Okay, history, sorry. As a part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene at the opposite end of the road. That's true, however, as a part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place the book in the victim's hand? Well, sir, that's because of how I found it. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book, so when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. In other words, the victim had already picked up the book of her own volition. And clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Well, I would say so. After being attacked with a knife, I imagine she'd have been doing not much of anything. So the question becomes... What just vibrated? Okay. Why did the victim have this book in her hand? By Jingo, I understand. I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now. Oh, dearie me. We know that the book fell from atop the top floor of the Garridub household on the pavement below. At precisely the moment that the victim was walking past. Yes, and at that exact moment, the young woman was walking alongside the street in a light fog, and when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her. The book I threw? Yes, Mrs. Garridub, rather. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking alongside and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Yeah, I would probably lean over and probably grab it a little bit. Well, I really can't imagine, but I suppose she might have reached down
and picked up the book a little bit like that.
Yes, that's exactly what the woman did. In fact, I figured it was something like that. It must have like come from above or something. I feel like I locked in on that early. They were just on the wrong side of the road, and now it makes all the sense in the world. She picked up that book.
Oh heavens.
And when the woman reached down to pick up that fallen book, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless from a falling knife, from a raging beast. And in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book, the next object that fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at that same time, I actually thought it could have been like the knife hit her and then the book lodged it in. I thought that was a possibility too, but then I very clearly said, okay, she bent down to pick it up, and then the knife. Walking by chance directly behind Mrs. Green was the defendant, Mistress Oseki Natsume. Well, I never. It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed onto the floor. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. Oh! And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there really never was a real culprit from the to run from the scene in the first place. Now, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. Tell him, Ryunosuke. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb?
The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
Hey there, old bean.
Poor Mrs. Garrideb. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book, and I threw that knife as well. John, dear,
it's all right. I know.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry.
Oh, there she goes again. Oh, he caught her! Just like their wedding day! He can't quite... Oh, he is struggling, dude. He got a bad knee. Someone help him! Okay, well, he's gone. That's love. They'll be alright. I don't think she's gonna get, like, incredible jail time for that. She might not even get any jail. It was, like, legit a series of unfortunate events. You know what I mean? Lord Van Zeek, so what of the news of Mrs. Garrideb? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events left an especially her in an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what easily could have been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just received word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctors believe she will regain consciousness soon. Okay, good. Cool. It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we never once met her.
How wonderful. The woman is out of danger, it seems.
Yes, that is good news. So, Mr. Oseki Natsume? Yes, I'm here.
Yes?
On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. Very nice, huh?
No, it is me who should be begging your pardon.
Oh no, Mr. Natsume.
That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion.
What conclusion, sir?
I was sure that the woman was dead. Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought that she had been killed too.
I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless, huh?
It has been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me.
Poor Soseki-san. His imagination has really got the better of him. It must be his books, huh?
Yeah, poor old man.
Not poor old man, I'm sorry, just poor man, huh?
So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should have never dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help for a doctor for the police. Instead, I managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry.
Well, I think this ended up just right. One could indeed say the same sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were befooled by this spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Van Zeeks and your young lawyer here from the east, that chain, I'd like to think he doesn't even know our name, actually. And he might not. That chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I hardly commend you both, huh?
Oh.
I didn't do much, except low-key help to obscure the truth. Unintentionally, I suppose. He had his own conclusions, they were just wrong. But once he realized that there was a way, then, you know, he let us, like, you know, bring her to the stand. He did a good job. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one more time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As the foreman of this jury, I can assure we've reached a fair and just conclusion.
I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times. Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure.
Sitting in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know, but I know what her decision would be. With me, I'll finally be able to get out of here and start to work. Well, it's about time.
I say, I have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I?
I love him. He's my favorite. That's my old boy. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman?
Not guilty.
Good.
Not guilty.
Great.
Not guilty.
Goated.
Not guilty.
Big W.
Not guilty.
Excellent.
Not guilty.
Let's light it up, light it up, light it up. Not guilty, yeah, oh yeah. Give me some confetti, yeah. We got confetti, right? Y'all invented confetti already? Very well, Mrs. Soseki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you not guilty. Now hit me with that confetti. Let's light it up, light it up, light it up. Hey, 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 hey. Fireworks in the courtroom too. That's crazy. That's a fire hazard after somebody got set aflame in our last trial. I don't know if that's actually too kosher. We probably shouldn't do that anymore, but okay. And finally, Mr. Natsume. Oh, yes, Lord, sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in the British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. Oh yes, sir. Of course. On my life, I swear I'll never set foot in the courtroom again. I'm transported to tears. My boy. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. All right. There's been a lot of accidental murder in these. Well, I say a lot of accidental murder. I guess this is actually the only case of accidental murder. The one on the ship, it felt like it was going to be accidental murder, but like at the end of it, it did come down to like she did it on purpose to because she didn't trust him. You know what I mean? Oh, locum. Yeah, I did it. Wait, you mean me? Of course. Is there another locum here? Is there even one? Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruhodo-san Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? What's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last I'm free, I'm free. Joyful, joyous, jubilant, the jubilant jubilation. Heedy, hearty, happiness, hurrah! Oh, I am pleased. Mission Natsume is delighted. I am not pleased until we get to the next part of this game and it says, hey, next chapter is ready and he's not dead. Because right now, I am concerned. I am concerned. Would it be so hard to just say that then? Locum, you did it. You saved me from the brink. Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault after all. I'm just glad that everyone can see that now. No, 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 not that. Lovely, loyal, locum lawyer. What? I mean, as I said before, I've just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings. And from high up windows, I see them looking down on me, laughing. Look at that little hunchback. Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mission Natsume. But today, you, locum lawyer, gave me a gloom in the boot. Gave my gloom the boot, rather. You stood firm behind that baronial bench before all those babbling British. You battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed. A lot of B usage here with a little alliteration. Behold, the best barrister ever born! You're right, it's me. Well then, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan. If you make it there, remember, you were still against the Bailey. I'm sorry, the Reaper of the Bailey, so, you know, I'm still really concerned about your well-being. An anecdote? Is that what's to become of all of my hard work? Ah, there you are, my dear fellows. Oh no. I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning. Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you. I am here. I see I'm here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted. Not a moment too soon? No, you're literally here after everything is ended. I'm glad to say. Oh? The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best of luck. It's just finished. What? No. Then my haste was in vain. Ah, it's you, her, Lock, Sholmes. Oh, have we met, sir? This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either your bleak lodgings or that prison cell. I couldn't place that curious face in the light. Charming, huh? Great. This is all your fault, Herlock Sholmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. Going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir, but I assure you, I've placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Ah, well, I suppose I did do that. Had she been taken to the hospital more urgently, I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh. But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. Herlock is really getting himself out of this, huh? I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind that now. What was it you wanted to say to me, sir? You wanted to tell me off or something? Nothing. Priceless. Oh, sorry. I'm really, but that was quite priceless. Poor Sasaki. He's getting bullied by Herlock Sholmes. Still on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And, it would seem, you were not even found guilty. But there is no bright side. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume? Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits. And now by the Reaper! Yeah, okay, great. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you were found not guilty, you're still doomed.
It will be alright, Mr. Natsume. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you.
Hiya, no, wait, why me?
With a perfectly executed Susato takedown. Much as I'd like to be turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Miss Susato.
The Reaper's gonna get this man. So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about your recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan.
Yes, sir. I intend to return to my homeland soon. Oh. It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I've visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here, and the city has, it is shaped. I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it. That's very touching, Mr. Natsume. Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse. That's not it at all! The more I learn of literature, the more the strange feeling claws in my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Could be an interesting read.
Is this also like a literary, like, figure that I should know? That actually is, like, had a book or something? I hope not.
And what about you, Miss Susato, and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? We're gonna keep defending people, I guess. Sorry, what about us? We return to Japan alongside your mustachioed compatriot.
Why would we?
A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London. And only now does it feel as though we finally have found our feet. And you are accommodated at a hotel at present, are you not?
That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us.
I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted. Well then, you can take my lodgings.
Oh, the windowless room?
But what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up for with a floor, a ceiling, and walls.
Great. Awesome, like every room. Hopefully.
And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirits. Oh my, evil spirit? Oh yes, it tries to suffocate you while you sleep. And it's
oh, I'm sorry, the cat?
An infallible wake-up call.
We'll think about it if it's alright. I mean, I would love to just have a free cat. That'd be pretty cool. There's a bunch of cats that just live in our neighborhood. I think, like, really 3 of them, I don't know if they live under my porch, but, like, every time I come home, they're like, hey, we're here, what's up? And I'm like, what's good, kids? The cats. There's one, like, mother kitten. It could be a father kitten, but I'm pretty sure it's a mother kitten. And, like, 3 little small kittens. Definitely, I don't think, I mean, could be from the same mother, but, like, 2 of them, they do look like her. They're the same gray. One of them's just a straight black cat. So I'm like, one of these things is not like the other, but I mean, like, I don't know, maybe this like just a straight black cat gene, and maybe, I don't know a lot about cat genealogy, you know what I mean? Regardless, perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Really? I don't know about that.
Well, a vacancy is conveniently presented itself, though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? I spoke with the landlady this very moment on the morning on the matter, rather, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of. Now, we do, right? Oh, this is simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited taking lodgings in the Great Detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome with words.
So, suggesting we look elsewhere is out then. I guess it'll be free.
Then it's settled. Iris will prepare you a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsume, I insist.
I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes.
Wonderful, and I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shouldn't take long.
Somebody's happy.
Well, very nice.
Welcome.
I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsume, it's been a privilege to meeting you two. It's a shame that you're going to have to say goodbye so soon.
Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day. Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer. I mean, you're undefeated right now. Granted, by one of them is like, you know, a pretty rigged case, but it is what it is. Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author. Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah, Mr. Sholmes? I have little doubt that Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening. I mean, shouldn't we wait for them and just carriage ride together? And so, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what became our new home, 221B Baker Street. Awesome. So we live in the attic, huh? Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. It's a little cozy. So this, where's no bed zone? That's fine. This is our new office, yes. Our office. I rather like the sound of that, actually. Oh, me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it? I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step, but I'd like to think that we're getting a little closer to your dream now. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? I do like it. Oh, hold on a minute. Hey, hold on a second. Mans is pretty handsome without the hat on. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Hold on a minute. And the overcoat, he's looking pretty dapper right now. Hold on a second. Mr. Sholmes, yes, thank you so much. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. Oh, we'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. I hope he arrives and he doesn't die on the way. Iris, you must let me help you. All right then, Susie. You can be in charge of the salad. Here, take this salad gun. Splendid. That leaves me with Mr. Sholmes, I suppose. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help but wonder what adventures await us. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Okay. I wonder if there is a... Because, you know, there is kind of a counterpart for Watson. And then, of course, there is Sholmes. I wonder if there is a like a Moriarty kind of existence here. Or if someone we have met is kind of like a Moriarty existence, and I have not made that comparison yet. I should probably be thinking about that. I'm going to probably go through the court record at some point and just remember our people. I'm looking at you. But okay. Sorry? London is a glorious place, full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows. Yep. The second he said that, I was like, I know the next line. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. So once again, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London. That was a pretty solid way to end the chapter. Of course, at the time, I had no idea the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke, but it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. Hey, Mr. Natsume, did you... Oh, thank goodness. I'm perfectly fine with it saying end. I was so worried for Natsume, dude. I was like, he's gonna die. Landed in London. Okay. Very good. Very much like that. Let's go here. We did it. The chapter... I'm sorry, episode 5 will start probably next Tuesday. I should be back on a regular Tuesday grind until I go out of town again, which wouldn't be until... Ooh, at this point in time, August, but we'll see. We'll see. Very excited. Very, very excited. Okay. Yeah, okay, very good. Oh yeah, look at that. Number 5. The unspeakable, so like even looking back at this, it doesn't really give you any real clues about what's going on in this game, or the chapter. In fact, none of them really, outside of like, hey, this took place on a boat. Hey, this is an important crime scene. These are places you go. This literally just gives us an animal, isn't this? A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. The Hound of the Bakersvilles. Of the Bakersvilles? Okay, whatever. Very cool. Okay, we'll go to the title screen, and we're gonna end off. We did it. This episode is in the books. Goodness gracious. I'm so glad he's not dead. I hope he doesn't die next time. I hope that this isn't like, oh god. What if he's the victim for the next case? Man, I don't like that that's a real possibility. I think I hate that. I hate that a lot. I hope that's not the case. But we'll probably see next time as we continue with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. This is awesome. We have our own place. I didn't really expect us to stay in the attic of 221B Baker Street. I think that's very cool. But to say the least, well, let's get it on. Next time, we start an unspeakable story or something, or truly unspeakable story or something like that. Regardless, I've been enjoying the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Episode 5 will be underway, so be here next Tuesday as we're going to continue on. Keep in mind that we still got plenty of things coming the rest of this week. Genshin Nuzlocke, and I think the summer events start for Genshin tomorrow, so be there for that. Thursday, I don't believe there's anything this Thursday, but next Thursday, I believe Mundavy is going to be moving and doing some Hector mode wheel style on Thursdays, so that'll be Thursdays in the near future. And by Thursdays in the near future, I mean next Thursday. Well, now. This Friday, there is Hunger Games, and there is Inferno Scars and Stripes, a special edition of Inferno. It is the last stop before the road to AV Mania officially begins, so you're gonna want to be there. Saturday, I think there's just a tier list for Trails for Saturday, because the Trails and Cold Steel, I believe, starts the next Saturday, which is going to be awesome. I'm very excited for that. And then Sunday, more Rebellion. So stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff coming on the channel. Yeah. Toodaloo Flight Crew. We're done dilling and dallying. This is the episode. I got nothing much for you. But as always, thank you for watching.